All right, the question today is, how do we create an animation that has multiple backgrounds changing to give it the effect that the camera is moving in closer to the character in Pivot? Let's talk about that. Thank you, Good Mythical Morning. Copyright. Okay, so here's how you're going to do this. Okay, here's how I can create this effect. I start with a wide shot. I have created this background, and then it moves in closer, and then it even goes in closer for like a close-up of him scratching his head. And then it goes back out. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to take our background, okay, our original background here. Here's my background. It's 800 by 600, okay? That is the size that we're using for this particular set of animations. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong animation size, but for now, that's the one we're using. So to make, basically I took this background and made several backgrounds using that. So if you look through, I'm just gonna kind of fast forward through. So my second background is sort of like a close-up on the trees here. And if you'll see, I made my character size 175. If you go back a few frames, my character is size 50, and he's between the trees. So I'm gonna get that spot right here. This is the area. So I'm gonna just, there's a couple ways to go about this, but I'm gonna hit Control A, select my entire screen, Control plus A, then Control C for copy. Control A is select all. Control C, C for copy. And then I'm going to go File, New. If you're all about the shortcuts, then Control N to make a new one. You see the size is 800 by 600. I say OK. I paste it. Now I'm going to zoom out, and I'm actually going to hold Shift. I'm holding the Shift key down, and then I'm going to click and drag a corner. And you'll see I'm sort of getting farther out, but I'm going to let go of the Shift key, and I'm going to pick it up and move it until I get it to look sort of like I want. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, so I'm going to hold Shift again. I'm just going to sort of stretch it until that's, you know, pretty big. I'm going to go back and look at my animation. Let's just take a look and see where was I with the size thing. It was actually almost at the top of the screen there. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Shift. There we go. There's my second screen. So I'll save it. File, Save As. And I might put this in my H drive and my, you know, my folder, my Paint.net or Pivot. I don't care. We're using this for Pivot, so maybe I'll save it there. And I'll call this Beach Medium Shot Background. Okay? And say OK. I don't care what you call it. Just give it a different name. So now I'm going to make another new file, File New. Say OK. See, it's 800 by 600. I'm going to paste in again. I don't even have to copy again. It's already copied. I'm going to zoom out. This time it's going to be even closer. So I'm going to hold Shift. I'm going to make it really big. And I'm going to get in really close to this screen so that we're just basically seeing the trees on either side like that. And then you can see it's even closer than the previous one. I might even make it a little bigger. I'm still making it as big as I can get it. And there we go. Right about there. Almost so we don't see any of that blue. Just a little bit. And there's my final background. And then I have all my different backgrounds. In fact, I even had a little bit of the blue there. So, I mean, I could change it. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. I have to undo it and drag it. So I can stick it like that so it looks more like how it looks in my video. But basically the idea is that you have the illusion of the picture getting closer, and then you make your character progressively bigger. So see, in this frame, my character is 400. So if I were to open this up so you can see that the character, oops, is way down here in the animation. There's his body. By the way, if you have a hard time getting to his dot because he's so far away, you can hit the center button, which is this green button right here, and it will drag him to the center, and you can move him. You can also use the arrow keys. I'm just using the arrow keys to move him around the screen, so you can always get him or her, it, positioned where you want it. So there you go. That's how you change backgrounds to give the illusion that you are zooming the camera in or pulling the camera back out. And then, by the way, if you look over here, all the backgrounds are featured, so you can just change it. So when I switch back to another background, all I have to do is click background and select the background that I want, which is a really great shortcut for getting to your different things. So anyway, thanks a lot. I'm Mr. G, and this has been a Pivot tutorial.